concept of a Satanic New World Order has been a topic of discussion among conspiracy theorists for decades. According to this ideology, a group of powerful individuals and organizations are working together to create a one-world government that would control every aspect of people's lives. Recently, the issue of global warming has been added to the narrative, with some claiming that it is being used as a tool to oppress and manipulate the masses. The idea is that the elite, often referred to as the Illuminati, are using the threat of climate change to implement policies that would ultimately lead to a loss of individual freedoms and the establishment of a totalitarian regime. Proponents of this theory argue that the science behind global warming is either exaggerated or entirely fabricated, and that the real goal is to create a sense of fear and urgency that would justify the implementation of radical measures to control the population. One of the main ways in which the Satanic New World Order is allegedly using global warming propaganda to oppress us is through the promotion of sustainable development and renewable energy. While these concepts may seem benevolent on the surface, proponents of the conspiracy theory argue that they are actually a Trojan horse for a more sinister agenda. For example, the push for renewable energy is often accompanied by efforts to increase government control over the energy sector, which could potentially lead to the nationalization of industries and the suppression of individual entrepreneurship. Another way in which global warming propaganda is being used to oppress us is through the implementation of carbon taxes and other environmental regulations. These measures are often presented as necessary to reduce our carbon footprint and mitigate the effects of climate change. However, critics argue that they are actually a form of stealth taxation that would disproportionately affect lower and middle-income individuals, further exacerbating income inequality and reducing economic mobility. The use of global warming propaganda to oppress us is also closely tied to the concept of Agenda 21, the United Nations-sponsored plan that aims to promote sustainable development and reduce poverty. While the goals of Agenda 21 may seem laudable, critics argue that it is actually a blueprint for a one-world government that would erode national sovereignty and individual freedoms. The plan's emphasis on sustainable development and environmental protection is seen as a Trojan horse for the implementation of radical socialist policies, including the redistribution of wealth and the suppression of private property rights. Furthermore, the Satanic New World Order is allegedly using global warming propaganda to oppress us by promoting a culture of fear and guilt. The constant bombardment of apocalyptic messages about the impending doom of climate change is designed to create a sense of anxiety and helplessness, which would make people more susceptible to manipulation and control. The emphasis on individual responsibility for reducing carbon emissions is also seen as a way to shift the blame for environmental problems from corporations and governments to ordinary citizens, thereby distracting from the real issues and preventing meaningful action. In conclusion, the idea that the Satanic New World Order is using global warming propaganda to oppress us is a complex and multifaceted concept that reflects a deep-seated distrust of government and other institutions. While the science behind global warming is real, and efforts to reduce our carbon footprint are necessary, it is also important to be aware of the potential risks of manipulation and control that can come with any large-scale social and economic transformation. By promoting critical thinking and media literacy, we can better navigate the complex web of information and disinformation that surrounds the issue of climate change and work towards creating a more just and equitable society for all.